Everyone keeps saying how important it is to travel. The benefits of traveling are not just a one-time thing. Traveling changes you physically as well as psychologically. Traveling can improve your overall health and enhance your creativity. Therefore, you need to take time out from your daily tasks, office responsibilities, hectic schedule, and everyday pressures at least once in a year. But you should think twice when you're deciding to visit any one of the cities that's in this list. Number 1. Mount Hua or Huazan. Located about an hour from Xi'an, one of China's most popular cities for tourists, Mount Hua is considered to be one of the world's most dangerous places to hike. The mountain is considered to be one of China's 5 sacred mountains and is one of the most popular tourist attractions and pilgrimage sites for Chinese people. The mountain actually has 5 main peaks: a north, south, east, west, and center, each with a temple on it, thanks to the religious significance that has been ascribed to the mountain for centuries. It has a plank walk located at South Peak that is considered by many to be one of the most dangerous hikes in the world. Hikers who challenge it will have to traverse paths made of narrow planks of wood bolted to the side of a cliff, 2,000 feet in the air. Even though there are harnesses attached to all hikers challenging the path, the experience is still one of the most thrilling on earth. Besides that, the mountain is also famous for its narrow pathways and steep stairways. If you're someone who is looking for a challenging hike, this one is definitely one of the toughest available out there. Number 2. Fishhook Beach. In the Republic of South Africa, you may rather visit the beach of Fishhook, which is one of the most dangerous beaches in the world, due to the frequent shark attacks. Cape Town's coast has always been the habitat of white sharks. On the Fishhook Beach, you can encounter these dangerous predators even in the shallows near the coast. The number of attacks that had fatal outcome is not only the highest in the country, but throughout the world. In order to protect the recreation seekers, the special protection nets were placed on the coast, but unfortunately, they cannot guarantee full safety. The work of local saviors is anything but inviolable. Regularly, they have to clear the coast of the corpses of the people who were attacked by the predators. The number of attacks on the Fishhook coast increased significantly in 2010. The scientists combine this with climatic change. Because of the climate change, the sharks become more aggressive. The scientists believe that the situation will only get worse in the coming years, and that means that one of Cape Town's most popular beaches can be fully closed. Number 3. Joffre Burger Cave. Located in France, was discovered in 1953 and was named in honor of the first researcher, Joffre Burger. The general length of the high passages is about 32 kilometers. This is the first cave in the world whose mines were examined at depth of more than 1,000 meters. The cave structure is incredibly complicated from a technical point of view. To get from their deepest pit to the surface of the earth, the researchers need at least 15 hours. The main danger for the scientists is the sudden flood, which has caused 5 researchers. And that is why Joffre Burger is often referred to as the killer cave. One cannot predict when and where in the cave will be flooded. Most of the underground wells are constantly flooded. Only a few passes can be thrown through, so the researchers always take inflatables with. Some are completely flooded and therefore attract the divers. It was originally thought to be the deepest in the world, but has since been demoted to 28th. Still, it is regarded as a must-do for cavers around the globe. Number 4. Uyuni Salt Flats. Bolivia's Salar de Uyuni is considered one of the most extreme and remarkable vistas in all of South America, if not on Earth. Despite the desert dryness, freezing night temperatures, and fierce desert sun, this landscape is not devoid of life. During the wet season, which is roughly from November to April, the salt desert is transformed into an enormous salt lake, albeit one that is only 6 to 20 inches deep, traversable by both boat and truck. During this time, the shallow salt lake perfectly mirrors the sky, creating bizarre illusions of infinity. This astonishing mirror effect can be seen on a still day when a thin layer of water covering the salt transforms the salt flat into the world's largest mirror, reflecting the sky. At nearly 12,000 feet above the sea level, visitors may experience altitude sickness if they haven't properly acclimatized. Number 5. Villarica Volcano. One of the most active volcanoes in Latin America, this has become an adventure wonderland thanks to its beautiful landscape and the number of glaciers that have made it famous. With an open crater of 200 meters of diameter, where at the bottom lies a permanent magma lake with a varying depth of 50 and 100 meters. Since 1558, there have been at least 90 volcanic eruptions registered. The most recent happened on March 3rd of 2015 at about 3 am. The most energetic phase lasted approximately 55 minutes, characterized by an eruptive column that reached between 6 and 8 kilometers in height. Vertically from the crater, the emission of lava reached up to 1.5 kilometers high. If your next travel destination is Chile, you should definitely have to add the excursion to the top of Villarica Volcano. Not only the amazing 360-degree panoramic view will blow your mind, but also you will feel the unique sensation to step on Chile's most active volcano. Number 6. Fisher Towers. The Fisher Towers Trail explores the Fisher Towers, one of the Utah Canyon country's most bizarre landscapes. The Fisher Towers Trail passes through an amazing array of rock formations, from 4-foot-tall goblin-like formations to the 900-foot Titan. From the viewpoint, the trail continues along the base of the massive tower to a sandstone gully where a ladder is provided to defeat the most difficult obstruction on the trail. After the gully, the trail veers southwest onto a long ridge. The trail ends 2.3 miles from the trailhead atop a big mushroom with widespread views of the region. Number 7. Lake Nyos. Locally known as the Bad Lake, Lake Nyos located in the northwest region of Cameroon, Africa. Lake Nyos was formed in a volcanic crater created as recently as 400 years ago. Crater lakes commonly have high levels of CO2 as they are formed from the volcanic activity happening miles beneath them. Under normal circumstances, this gas is released over time as the lake water turns over. But Lake Nyos is different. It is an unusually still lake with little in the way of environmental agitation. Rather than releasing the gas, the lake was acting as a high-pressure storage unit. Its deep waters were becoming even more loaded with gas until more than 5 gallons of CO2 were dissolved in every gallon of water. Pressurized to the physical limit, Lake Nyos was a time bomb. On August 21, 1986, something in the lake went off. It is unknown what the trigger was: landslide, small volcanic eruption, or even something as small as cold rain falling on an edge of the lake. The lake literally exploded, sending a fountain of water over 300 feet into the air and creating a small tsunami. But far more deadly than the water was the gas. Some 1.2 cubic kilometers of CO2 was released in roughly 20 seconds. This massive wave of deadly gas swept over the countryside. Villages near the lake had almost no chance of survival, and in nearby Nyos only 6 out of 800 survived. Scientists believe that a volcanic disturbance could cause the same kind of event seen at Nyos, but on a much larger scale. The only question is when. Number 8. Death Valley. As the hottest, driest and lowest national park, Death Valley is a land of extremes. Structural depression primarily in Inyo country, southeastern California, US. Established on October 24, 1994, Death Valley National Park is a beautiful but challenging landscape where unique wildlife have developed igneous adaptations to the arid, harsh environment. Some of the rocks move on their own at Death Valley. Scattered across the bottom of this dry lake bed are hundreds of rocks that leave trails on the ground when they move. For years, the source of their movement has gone unsolved, but in 2014, researchers discovered a rare combination of events that move the rocks. When the playa floods and cold winter nights freeze the water into a thin layer of ice that then break into large floating panels at night turns into day, winds drive the rocks forward across the slippery surface, which leave trails in the soft mud below. Although scientists have discovered the secret of the moving rocks, the fascination still remains the same. South Luangwa National Park. Established as a national park in 1972, South Luangwa National Park is located in eastern Zambia. Experts have dubbed South Luangwa to be one of the greatest wildlife sanctuaries in the world, and not without reason. You'll see hippos and crocodiles as soon as you cross a bridge over the Luangwa River, and elephants are hard to miss along the river's banks. It is especially famous for its large herds of elephant and buffalo, and for the abundant hippo population living in its lagoons. Lions are also relatively common. This national park is considered the birthplace of the walking safari, which was first introduced by iconic safari operators like Norman Carr and Robin Pop. Now, nearly every lodge and camp in the park offers this incredible experience, which allows you to get up close to the animals of the bush in a way that simply isn't possible in a vehicle. Traveling through the valley's lush landscapes on foot also means that you have time to stop and appreciate the smaller things, from exotic insects to animal tracks and rare flora. Walking safaris can last anywhere from a few hours to several days and are always accompanied by an armed scout and expert guide.